You're listening to Oh My Health, There Is Hope podcast.
When your heart is aching and your world is shaking, don't give up. No, no, don't give up.
Hello and welcome to Oh My Health, There Is Hope. I'm your host, Jana Short, and today I'm here with Noreen Sumpter. Noreen holds a certification from NYU for personal life coaching and has been coaching for 15 years. She is the creator of the Live Life Your Way coaching program. Her clients call her the bully coach because she gets you to do the things that you are afraid to do, and you feel better for having done it. Everyone deserves the life they want to live. Living life your way is not your way, it's your mother's or father's or society's way. You hone your skills and talents and go after your dreams. Noreen is magical and fun. She hosts a radio show, Beyond Potential, Live Your Life Your Way, an addition mentor and an ambassador to the Manhattan Chamber of Commerce, president of the Business and National Association of Women Business Owners, and a board member of Fort Greene Park in Brooklyn. Oh my gosh, Noreen, you're a busy, busy woman. Like, seriously, you're doing it all. I love you. Thank you for being on the show today.
Thank you. Also the founder of Lunch Lady, which is one of my all-time favorite things. This is the one you came on.
By the way, I did not forget, we were going to definitely talk about it because it's one of my favorites too. What you're doing with Lunch Lady is phenomenal.
Right. Thank you.
So one of the first things we ask you to do is to share a story of hope. And because we want everyone to know, especially this time of year, that there is hope out in the world, that we all have hope, right? And I know you have some marvelous stories because one of my favorite things about you is you're a beautiful storyteller.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. So a story of hope. I feel like it should be some kind of a Christmas story. All right. Like I think of the story of hope. It's like made for TV. Like the Noreen Sumpter, hope story of hope. No, I think that at this time that hope is something that we can hold onto. When I think of hope, it's like the hem of your mother's skirt. You know that your mother, God willing, your mother will never do anything to harm you. And that her hem is always there, right? The hem of her skirt, or, you know, like little kids, mommy goes 2 steps, they sort of run out 2 steps and they look back to make sure she's there. It's kind of hope is that. You know, life has its challenges and we can always look back and go and pull out the things that are positive that we can use in our life. This pandemic this too shall pass. Just like the Spanish flu, that passed. We found a way to treat it. We found a way to cure it. Just like the bubonic plague, we found a way to treat it. We found a way to get rid of it. You know, all of these situations that we're going through right now, these too shall pass. And we can't allow them to impact our lives. We have to be mindful, follow the instructions, wash your hands, you know, do your 6 feet apart, wear your mask, don't be an anti-masker, right? And just trust that your instincts, I believe my instincts will let me know, my spirit will guide me and let me know what there is for me to do. So just, you know, that visual, I just saw it like holding on to my mother's hem. You know, I can't go wrong with my mother's hem. So that's how I feel about hope.
That is a beautiful metaphor, by the way. I know you're a great storyteller, and that is a beautiful, I'm always going to think of hope that way now, hanging on to my mom's hem. I love it. And even though she's not here, I still hang on to the things she says, the things she's taught me. So her hem is still always within reach for me.
That hem will never go away. It's always there. My mother died this time last year, and her hem is not going anywhere. I always knew that one day she would die, and thank God she died before I did. I think that she would have been traumatized to have her children die before her. So I'm really grateful that she died before I did, and she didn't have to suffer the loss of a child. But my mother's not gone anywhere. She's right here in this space with me. I always say, I look at my hands, look at my face, look at my body, and there she is.
Oh, I love that. I want to talk a lot about, first I want to talk a little bit about COVID, but I want to, because I think people are overhearing about it, right? And they know it's there and they know we're working on it and they're just over it already.
Right.
But I want to talk about all the beautiful things that you're doing and how you're showing up and serving the world in your space right now. And I really feel like everything you're doing is what I love seeing happen. It's creating this beautiful ripple effect out into the world that is creating change. So why don't you tell us a little bit about some of the amazing things you've been up to?
Oh, so, I'm a sort of person, I love to gather people. I love to bring people together. And so in terms of everything that I do is about bringing people together. So I'm doing workshop that starts in January, and that is a 4-week workshop for people to really start to create what they want, get rid of. It's always getting rid of, releasing, and then recreating. And I love workshop because people get honest with themselves in this. And they get daily homework that they have to do. It might be interviewing a few friends to find in just listening to what they have to say about you, right? Because our friends and people that we know say wonderful things about us. It's us that say the terrible things about ourselves. And when people hear the things that people say about them, they're empowered, they're inspired, and they're no longer afraid of the things that they make up in their head because they know it's not true, So, and I liken this workshop to looking at yourself like a house. We start at the foundation and we build ourselves up. So every day you get some homework to do. It might be listening. It might be tuning into your instincts. It might be, like I said, interviewing. It might be clearing out a drawer. Just all kinds of actions to take so that you start to see yourself as a whole and complete person. I've had people, one story with a lady that was in workshop, somebody I met on the train actually. She did workshop, and in the conversation, because it's very organic, even though it's structured, it's very organic. In the conversation, I don't know what came into me. I asked them, so if you were a doll, what kind of a doll would you be? And so one person said, I'd be the doll that doesn't fit in. And she said, I'd be the doll. She goes, I don't know. She goes, I'm always doing for people and I never ask for what I want. I said, so you're the dusty doll. You're the dusty doll that's on the shelf in the shop. Nobody touches you. Nobody cleans you. You're just really dusty. And she went, oh my God, that is exactly who I am. And she broke down and cried because that analogy fit her perfectly. She doesn't ask for what she wants. She's always doing stuff for people, never asking to be paid. And what was happening is that she had a boyfriend who was an attorney and she would write briefs for him, right? She's really good at doing that. And she didn't ask for payment. And after that dusty experience of being that doll, it literally shifted her into a 180. She doesn't write briefs for him anymore without him paying. She said, I want payment. Yes, I'm your girlfriend, but I need to be paid so I can take care of myself. Yes, you can take care of me, but I don't need you to take care of me if I'm writing these briefs. And she decided that she's going to go back to college and get her law degree. Now, how boss is that? To actually realize that you have a skill and a talent. And it all started from going to court with her husband to try and get custody for her kid. She found that she had this talent and she had the power and she didn't need to ask. Now she writes her own briefs and she's going to get full custody of her kid. How amazing is that?
That is a beautiful story. I love that. And here's the thing, we all have a voice. Why we're afraid to use it, I don't know. I'm sure it comes from our childhood, being told this isn't the time, stop, later, don't say that, don't be disrespectful. And yeah, I really don't feel like you should be disrespectful, but that doesn't mean our voice has to be quieted, right? It just means we're more respectful in the way that we put it out there.
I think it comes through a lot of domestication though. Like I always think that when you go to school at 5, you're this rambunctious kid playing and bouncing off the wall and connecting. And all of a sudden you have to learn to sit still. And you're in your seat and you're fidgeting or you're talking and giggling just like I was. And your teacher say, stop talking, stop being fidgety. And then that starts to, impact you as you go along. And you have to unpackage and undo all of these things so that you can actually hear your voice, so that you can actually begin to own it. And then you can start to live life your way. And that's what I provide for my clients. Own your voice, speak your truth, and live life your way. Your truth is not my truth. right? And my truth is not your truth. So it's like owning your own and really standing in your own power. And that's what all my programs are about at the end of the day. Workshop. The big release is happening in on the 26th, that's after Christmas. That is like no more resolutions. Resolutions don't work. So the big release is releasing 2020, because I know we have a lot to release, and then creating 2021 in a positive way. And that is a miraculous, like, that's when I get my witchy poo on.
You know, I work with a lot of people in health and wellness, and most of them are coaches. And I hear some key phrases like pivot. I hear, you got to pivot, you got to pivot. I hear the word impact. There's such an impact. Don't let it impact you. And I'm hearing all these words. And at the end of the day, people, they're just words, right? They're just words. And to me, when someone says, don't let that impact you, I'm like, yeah, let it impact you. How it impacts you, though, is your choice. Right. And I always think as like you were talking about that little kid, 5 years old, going to school, he's all over the place. I always see people like in pinball machines. And for all of you that are very young, you don't know what a pinball machine is. Exactly. We used to put a quarter in it, and you had until the ball went in the hole, and you kept slapping it around, right? So it'd score here and it'd score there, but it always came back. You push it out. That's kind of like our lives. We always come back and we get pushed back out, and we get banged over here and banged over there. Sometimes we score, sometimes we don't. But how you receive that, how you want to be impacted. Like, I do not want to miss the impact of COVID. No. I really don't. It's a crazy time. I've learned so much.
It's a crazy time, but a wonderful time.
Yes.
I say impact. COVID is going to be COVID. Noreen is going to be COVID, and never the two should come together. Meaning that COVID is doing its job. COVID's job is to find a host.
Yep.
My job is to find a host.
And so you cross paths?
No, we go in different directions, because I don't want to, like, I'm not looking to be the host for COVID, and I'm sure you're not. But it is a time, for me, it's a time of quietness. The city has been so quiet, right? It's like everything is happening in the silence. It says, be still and know that I am God. This is what's happening in COVID. We have been still. The oceans I was reading this article about the oceans. The oceans are so quiet now, you can hear the whale calls. The whales can hear their own calls. How amazing is that? The Venice canals that they said, didn't have fish, and the fish were gone. Fish are back. These creatures have not gone anywhere. They've just gone in another direction. And that's how we are. We have to find another direction. Pivot is great. I mean, like, the word pivot is like, is so played out right now. Yeah. I don't even know what to, it is so played out. Pivot. Like, but the question is, pivot where? How? With what? So it's like, we have to keep moving. Yes, we get banged about. The problem is the challenge. I say the challenge is when we get stuck and we don't move because we're afraid. No, we just go with a bang. It might bang you into some place that's going to actually make a difference. Yeah. So
I love that. And I do. People, when they give me these words, I'm like, those are just words. It's how we all receive them differently, right? We have the ability to take it in positively, turn it around, reframe it, but they're just words at the end of the day.
And sometimes you just don't know. You got to be okay with just not knowing. Yeah. Not knowing is like a blank piece of paper. Right? I've got paper that has so much writing on it that I can't even find one right now. There's no space. But not knowing is a blank piece of paper. You can ask, what if I did know? What's the feeling? What's the taste? What's the texture? What is it that I want to accomplish? What does it feel like? What is it? Start just jotting down things. You don't have to have the whole story, but you can start with a little piece. And that's just how I see it. It's like, I don't know. It's an opportunity. You don't have any money. Okay, great. Opportunities to fill your bank account.
They do. If you see them. So here's the thing. If you see them, if I have blinders on, doesn't matter what kind of opportunities are coming my way. I don't see them.
Yeah, but we create them.
Exactly. We do create them.
We create them. It's like I got to figure out. You can't figure out something you've never done before. You have to create it. First step, right?
Right.
I got to figure out how to be a millionaire. I've never been a millionaire before. I got to create it.
But every millionaire starts from the exact same spot with nothing and a dream, right? There you go. Right. And they created their destiny for sure. Like they
Exactly.
leaned into it. They worked hard.
Exactly. And most millionaires that I know, they didn't plan on being millionaires. They plan on having fun with the thing that they created. And then they wanted to share it with you and share it with you. And then it sort of had this ripple effect. You know, I was listening to a story of these monkeys on an island in Japan. And the scientists put these, what do they call it, sweet potatoes down. But the sweet potatoes got sand on them, so the monkeys wouldn't eat it. And there was this one little monkey who was 18 months old, and she took it to the ocean and washed it, right? And ate it. And then she taught her parents how to do it, and they did it. And then, you know, it was like this whole ripple effect. And the scientists discovered that monkeys who were another island away, over time, they started to do it as well. It takes one person with one thing that they enjoy and they love and they're passionate about to then pass it on to another person and pass it on to another person. But the thing about anything that we create is it's got to be a love. It can't just be about the money. That's how I feel. Money is important. Yes, I want the money. I want the money. Don't get me wrong, because I need the money to buy hats.
And pearls. I know you're a pearl girl.
And jewelry and stuff like that, right? This is Avon 1970, right? But the thing about it is that, you know, we have to be in love with what we do. And that's just how I see it. And in love with, look at it. I can't even figure it out. Right? We have to be in love with this person in the seat. And so that we can take care of that person and we can recognize when things are not working.
I feel like one of the biggest things with the people that I work with that stops them is themselves, right? They give me all of these reasons. As soon as I get my website ready and it's perfect, as soon as I figure out this plan and it's perfect, or as soon as I upgrade to this, and then I'll be able to go. And here's the thing. You have everything you need to be successful inside of you. You don't need a better website. You don't need to perfect this. You just get out there and live in your passion and your purpose, and you cannot help but be successful.
Exactly. And we deem what successful is.
Exactly.
You know, what is success? I'm successful. I've enjoyed myself. For the last 15 years of doing what I'm doing, I've enjoyed it and I still love it and I'm still passionate about it. For the time before that, when I was a real estate broker and I called it the cocktail without the cocktail without the cocktail party without the cocktail, because I was running around the city with human beings, right? I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm a firm believer that don't do anything you don't enjoy. I don't care. Don't do it. I don't care how much it pays you. Right? I did real estate for another 15 years. And then I decided I didn't want to do it anymore. I was at the hill. I was making good money, but I just didn't want to do it anymore. It became challenging for me to walk 5 blocks to sell a house where I didn't have any other competition. But I believe that, you know, you can come to the end of the road and you don't have to kill it off. You can just choose to go in the direction that you want to go in and take the steps. It hasn't been easy being a coach, but you know what? It's not supposed to be easy. I'm loving it. It's fun. I love to see my people grow. I love to see people expand. I love to see what I created turn out. And it's just so exciting. And we're here to have exciting lives. Whatever that is for you.
2020 comes around and we start planning what success looks like to you.
In 2021.
In 2021, what success is going to look like to you. I hope that you think about first, what success looks like for your health.
Absolutely.
And 2, what success looks like for your relationships, the people that.
Absolutely.
Because everything else, I promise you, I was on my deathbed once and I did not utter the words, I wish I'd have been better in business. It was, I want more time with my kids. How do I create another memory? It wasn't about more money in my bank account because I wasn't taking it with me. Exactly. So at the end of the day, what does success look like to you? So that's really good. I mean, I agree that once you start in that line of passion where you're living what you love, the money does come and you don't even realize it. It just starts happening.
I first heard Oprah say that. Now, I was like, yeah, Oprah, you can say that. But even Oprah had to get to that point. She wasn't wealthy, right? And then, but she did.
And she struggled. She definitely struggled on that road.
Mm-hmm. do believe that the end of my life, I always say I want to be crispy. I want to be so used up by the work that I love to do, the people that I love, that when they look at me in the coffin, even though I'm giving my body to science, right? They go, God damn, she's crispy. And people that know me, young or old, will go like, yeah, of course she's crispy. She lived the hell out of life, right? She had fun. I had experiences, shared, I generated. I love to share, and that's what I want to be known for. Is I want to be known for passing on information, sharing. I want to be known for people loving people. I want to be known for calling things as I saw them, not saying that they have to be the way I saw them, but actually having an opinion, having, like giving my 2 cents and turning things around. I want to be known for helping people to accomplish their dreams, their desires, helping them be accountable for what they came here to do, because we all came here to do something. So I want to help them to be accountable for that, whether it was they want to get married, whether it is they want to have relationships with their family, whether it's they want to live in a nice house. Whatever that is, I want to be accountable. I want to be the person that helps people to do that and helps myself to do that as well. And that's really what, just living life and saying you can do it. You can do whatever you want and help you to do that and prove that to yourself.
You have a beautiful energy, and I definitely have no doubt whatsoever that that is what you're going to be doing, Miss Crispy. I want to, before we finish up, I definitely want to talk about how I met you, which was through Lunch Lady, and it was an amazing, beautiful platform. And one of the things I learned from Lunch Lady, first of all, Noreen is in our new issue of Best Holistic Life, but so are two of the other incredible women I met at Lunch Lady. It was that big of an impact on me. Not only was it such a big impact, when you do summits, usually they're pre-recorded and they just give you a video and it's like someone is just talking at you, right? It's just like noise coming from a different voice. And you did yours so beautifully that I took a lesson from that. And she engages her audience with the people that she has coming on. And it becomes this amazing forum of feedback and engagement. And I definitely took a note from that because her summit was the first one all year. And I normally say no to summits because they're a lot. But I was so grateful that I did yours because I took so much away from it because you really connected with the people that were invited into the summit. And yay, you did a great job with it. I wish everyone took a note from that because instead of us talking at people, we should be engaging with them, involving them in the conversation.
Yes. I'm a firm believer that, we have Google, we have all these tools that where you can learn stuff in a minute. And I also believe that many people that come to workshops or summits or any of these kinds of things, they already have 10,000 hours of information. They've already got it. They don't need to be talked at. What they need is conversation, which helps them confirm what they already know, right? They just need that feedback. And so I love people talking. I love people engaging. I love people connecting because not only does it help you to do that, it helps the other person in their business or what they're up to. Now you got more people from me, my event, because people wanted to know who you were. They loved your conversation. People were still talking about it weeks after. And that's how somebody said, I want to meet Jana. Connect them. It's not, I don't own anybody. They can find you anywhere. Why not connect? But I'm all about people engaging, being interactive. No more talking heads. Yep. No more talking heads. We're tired of talking heads, and I want it to be fun. I want it to be passionate. I'm also wanting it to be authentic. I want people to be able to say what's there for them because we have a lot of stuff that's stuck in our craw, right? Which we never get a chance to talk about. But there was some really great things that was said on that summit, that panel, and it was just so lovely. I think to me that was one of the best ones yet. And we've been at it now for 1 year. Lunch Lady's been around for 1 year. So Lunch Lady is now a toddler. Are you a toddler at one?
No.
I don't have any children, right? when you were a toddler. So Lunch Lady is not even a toddler yet, it's still a baby. But I really am committed that it continues on that. And it's not easy, but I love connecting people. I love hearing people's stories. I love, and me asking you to be on the summit was intuitive, right? I felt you, I felt your energy, I felt your power, I felt your love, I felt your commitment to living and living life. And that's what chose you to come on our summit. And I'm glad I did.
I walked away from that summit a different person because it's so important to me that we reach out through this social media craziness and we say, hello, I am. And we stop talking. Yes, we stop talking at people because it's like how full of ourselves are we, right? That we're just like putting out all this stuff on video. I want to connect with people. That's what my whole life is about, is making those connections and memories. And you created a beautiful panel to do that. And it was magical. I loved it. And now when I asked to be on a summit, I'm like, you're going to record me? I'm just like not into that because I want people to be able to ask questions or to interject their feelings and thought process, you know, of what you're saying. And it was really magical. So bravo to you for coming.
Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me because, you know, I can only go by what it is I require and then put it out there. I really want people to show up. Show up so they can blow up, right? Because you just don't know who is out there that can take you where you want to go or even get you closer to what it is you want to experience. So I'm really, that was wonderful. That was a wonderful, what you said when you said to your friend, I don't see color. And your friend said, you know what she said, well, then you don't see me. Do you know how that rang? That rang so deep for people, and it was so wonderful, and people were like, oh my God, she was so honest and so open, and that was just so great. And you took, you know, you heard your friend. To me, that was love.
It was love. I was not offended. I love that she had the voice to speak it to me. Otherwise, I'm walking around like a not understanding.
Yeah,
so for
exactly.
her to say, then you don't see me.
Yeah,
and it hurt me. Like, of course I see you, but I don't. It's just like me trying to explain to my husband what it's like to have a baby, what it feels like to carry that child, your legs swelling up, you know, and your back hurting and then pushing it out of your area. Right. And he'll never understand that because he didn't live it. And for him to say, oh yeah, I get it. You know, no, you don't. So it's really for me, it opened my eyes, and everybody was so beautiful in sharing about it. And it was in a really hot moment too, that we had this opportunity, and we would not have had that if we were talking heads.
Exactly. And so let me tell you, so you did this in October. No, you did it in September. In October, I was at a loss for words because I was still riding high on that summit. Couldn't even, like, we didn't have one for November, so I figured great. I mean, yes, we didn't have one for October, but September, with that conversation, it informed November. So we did diversity, equity, and inclusion, and that was amazing too, because it was like looking at diversity, equity, inclusion as ourselves, right? For ourselves, like, you know, birds of a feather. That's true. We do flock together. We hang out with people of the same degrees. We hang out with people with the same colors. We hang out with people with the same personality. And when we hire exactly that which we are. And so it was like learning, oh, we're doing it too. And that conversation went, whereas there was a Black lady that said, you know, when I hire, I'm looking for somebody who is high energy because I'm high energy. Because when I'm hiring engineers, they don't need to be high energy. They don't need to be social. And that opened up a whole new world for her. And so there was a lot of different things that were happening. But September with you guys was really great. It really informed November. And so this month we're doing Lunch Lady does dinner, get dressed with Lunch Lady. And what that is about is like, how do we dress up on Zoom? Well, I wear funny hats, but you know, it's Christmas, right? But how do we dress up on Zoom? How do we show up on Zoom? You know, what is the experience for people? So we're talking about the physicality, our physicality, you know, our backgrounds, you know, like that. You know, my background is an African print. Yes, that is a woman. And yes, that is a man. But it's like, you want backgrounds that are not going to impact people too hard so they lose you and they're just focusing all around. So we're going to be doing a conversation with that, and also our physicality, how we show up. who we be when we're on these Zoom meetings, and how to maintain ourselves so that we don't get stressed out and worn out. But I really think it's like choosing the face that you have, so that you don't have to worry about how you look or how you smile. Be okay with yourself, because a lot of people are not comfortable being on Zoom. It's too much pore or too much sweat or whatever it is they're dealing with. But it is you, and so that's what we're trying to educate people or share with people, or just have people share their experiences of what it is next month. So that's on the 22nd.
So I'm definitely hooking in the Lunch Lady links to this podcast so that you guys can find it, because if you love summits, this is going to blow you away, because no more people just talking at you. It's engaging conversations with some incredible leaders. And they're like, I met some incredible people on that last one that we did in September. It was amazing. And again, 3 of them are in the magazine because I was so impressed by them and their story.
Also, we, as time goes on, it'll probably get bigger. It will get bigger and bigger. And, but what we also do is allow people to do a little pitch, like they can do their little elevator pitch, introduce themselves, introduce their businesses. Because I think that's what people come for. We're entrepreneurs. We love to talk. We want to talk. We want to talk about our stuff. And if you're not a talker yet, as an entrepreneur, you learn to talk. And I think that's one of the things that I offer to people, an opportunity to just share their little bits and pieces. And I really enjoy that.
I love it. So thank you so much for coming on the show. I know we had a little blurb, so I'm so grateful that you accommodated me. Thank you, because I didn't want people to miss your goodness.
Oh, thank you so much thank you for being you. Like, thank you for being so open, so generous, and just really, really living your life and standing in that you are going to be alive and be here with us. And I think that is your story blew me away. So thank you for being here. Otherwise, I would never have met you.
Thank you. I'm very grateful I met you. So thank you too.
Awesome.
Thanks for listening to the Oh My Health, There Is Hope podcast. Make sure to visit Jana's website, bestholisticlife.com, where you can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play, or listen there, so you'll never miss an episode. While you're at it, if you found value in the show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes, or if you simply tell a friend about the show. That'll help too. Let's change the world together, one health expert at a time. Looking forward to seeing you next time.